Hello, everyone. Nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Death Knight is here. But today, finally, he has been buffed, the Calamitus. Rather than try to test everything for him, because I do think that this champion could be kind of a cool champ for Chimera. There's a lot of stuff to test. I'm going to focus on a fairly simple and straightforward thing in today's video. For full auto Hydra, is he any good now? Just full stop. How does he compare? Right? What has changed with him? Well, we're mostly going to be looking at Form 2. In general, though, for his Form 1, I believe they upped the damage for his skills. He now has a 20% extra chance to crit on his A1, his A2. This A3 is always critical. They reworked the passive in his Form 1, where he now gives himself a 50% HP shield and 50% increased attack for one turn every single turn, which is actually really cool. But yeah, he has for his secondary form, which is what we're going to focus on for Hydra. He's going to come in with a 3-turn cooldown. They lower the cooldown by 1 turn for this with AoE, Hex, and decreased defense. And this now has that 20% extra chance to crit. And he has an AoE on his A2 that has now a 20% extra chance to crit. And they increased the ignore defense over here. This used to ignore 20% defense if the enemy was under Hex. Now is 20% ignore defense just always, and 35% if they're under Hex. And yeah, they also boosted his passive that he now gets 20% attack for every enemy under Hex, whereas before it was only 10%. And he's also going to heal off of damage under Hex. I'm actually going to have to redo his build a little bit. We'll try to improve his build because we're going to compare him to Ninja. Ooh, yes, Ninja. And we'll see. We're going to be running them with Lady Mikage, which is definitely an advantage to Ninja. But then again, for like Ninja, Toshiro, Harima, a lot of the top tier Hydra damage dealers, they do run with Mikage. We'll see. For the purposes of this testing, I've had to give them a relic for enough crit damage because we're also going to compare against Thor. And it's important because Thor self-buffs increase crit damage, and we are going to run them with the Mad Hatter. The Mad Hatter brings the ally with the highest crit damage in for an ally attack. So I've had to make sure that we give Ninja and therefore Calamitus a lot of extra crit damage. We're going to use this relic to do it. It shouldn't give them any benefit. The gem is if they kill someone, you don't kill anything in Hydra, so it should be fine. We've had to give them this relic to ensure they'll always have the highest crit damage. They'll always be brought in for the ally attack with Mad Hatter. And like Thor's not going to be messing with it, and Ninja's passive won't mess with it, etc. So the Ninja stats for this, he's going to be in 6-piece Merciless, 2-piece Cruel, 1-piece Feral. We're going to swap his gear over onto Calamitus, and then we'll try to drop the crit rate a bit and give him more crit damage or attack. But Ninja at 9,000 attack, 226 speed, 350 crit damage, 100% crit rate, 352 accuracy. He does have a maxed out core crescent, maxed out skills, 5-star Nature's Wrath, and he has these masteries. So, without any further ado, let's dive into. I guess we'll run the first part, not on quick battle, just so you can get a look at the team, get a vibe for it, see what's going on. This is almost my actual Nightmare team on the real game. The difference is I don't use Thor on this team usually. I actually use Marius. Usually, and I put Thor on my other team. But yeah, we shall see. So Ninja doing some weak hits. That's fine. Ninja is going to ramp up. And yeah, his A1 will start to hit extremely hard. And that will scale very, very well with Mad Hatter and with Mikage. So he's really going to ramp up and get going. Hopefully, at some point. It will take a little bit of time. But yeah, we'll run this one out for a few turns and we'll see. Ninja, weak hitting on both the A1s. Now, what is interesting about this team that you may or may not notice, decreased defense. Well, we get some from Krisk, but Ninja is actually the main source of decreased defense on this team, which is perhaps a little surprising. And a lot of your damage really comes from decapitated heads. Obviously, Krisk can't place decreased defense on decapitated heads since they don't hit him. So, yeah, the Ninja decreased defense is pretty powerful. And obviously, so many ally attacks. There he goes. He hits for 1,000,000. This should hit pretty hard. Of course, he hit the head under Poison Cloud. Mad Hatter griefing us on auto. Feels bad. But yeah, I hopefully this will be an interesting comparison. Let's come back. Let's end this sample run here at the 1 key, and then we'll just do a quick battle for the full run. I suspect Thor will win in the short term and Ninja to win in the long term. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so there we go. That's pretty much yeah, there we go. That's a 1 key right there. Lock it in. 2 minutes. In terms of this run so far, oh wow, actually Ninja's already ahead. I didn't expect that, actually. Ninja's already ahead of Thor. Cool. Mad Hatter doing lots of damage. Let's just quick battle this thing. And yeah, we'll give it a go. Should make it the whole way. I don't see why it would go wrong. It's obviously slightly different from my actual team on live. And on live, I've got relics and whatnot. But I don't see why it wouldn't work. And it's pretty consistent. Yeah, I was going to say, it's usually fairly consistent around 800 mil on this rotation. It can be as much as 900 mil. But wow, we can really see here, for instance, Ninja with that Mikage boost in particular. And obviously the Hatter ally attacks. It's so strong. So, like, when I put Mad Hatter into this team started doing like 30% more damage. And I got one weird comment, which was like, I think it does more damage because you put Feral Set on Krisk. It's not because of Mad Hatter. And I was like, I don't know how you think you're getting 30% more damage from Feral Set on Krisk. It's unlikely Krisk can maintain 6 debuffs on decapitated heads at all times, isn't it? But hey, there we go. People think weird things, but it's a strong team. I think one of the problems with this team is we actually have too much speed on some of these characters, and Ninja doesn't take enough turns. But anyway, there we go. That is that. Maybe we need to speed Ninja up again. I lowered his speed. I think the damage went down. But yeah, I'll take a screenshot so I remember. Discard the result. Cool. Let's go switch things over. Let's see how Calamitus compares, shall we? So we'll start from the basis of the same gear, or as close as I can get, and we'll nick the relic off of him as well. Hello? Oh, okay. Yeah, the test server is a bit broken for relics. Doesn't quite work. I unequip that. Now, does it show up? No. Well, that's a problem. Well, this would give us extra damage. That's no good. Maybe I can restart the test server or something. This would give us, and he's not going to have Veil or Perfect Veil. This would be fine. Can I level this up and rank it up? I've got lots of resources, so we can give him. This is the same thing, right? I think it's the same. So sure, we'll max that. Imagine having these resources. I don't think funny enough, I don't think these 5-star and even these 4-stars, I don't think actually exist in the live game. I don't think there's been any of those yet. So this is like a totally novel. You can see this is what it feels like to upgrade a relic to 6-star. There's my other relic. It's decided to show up. Upgrade, right? Well, I can upgrade it again? No. Okay, well, I think that does the same thing, right? And we won't put any gems in it. So it's just an attack and crit damage stat stick. So we want to drop his crit rate. But he's going to have crazy high attack. He's going to have 9k attack. Yeah, I mean, it should be good. And he should be enough ahead of Thor. All right, let's see. Can we drop? This is a lot of crit rate on it. Let's see. Do a priority on just crit damage. Let's see what we've got in Cruel. Do I have anything better? He's got almost the best one. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we can drop 17% crit rate. That seems good. We'll gain some speed, lose some attack, gain a chunk of crit damage. We lose some accuracy, but we still got plenty. I think that's pretty good. So that should be our Calamitus builds. Faster, lower crit rate, higher crit damage, bit lower attack, but still very solid, still reasonably tanky. Stat stick scroll, Nature's Wrath. Masteries are like this. Let's give it a go. Ninja, out you pop. Calamitus, in you go. We could, of course, use his aura. He has an aura, Ninja doesn't. We're going to stick with the same one, though, for the purposes of this. And, ooh, let's set up an AI for him. We could have him do this A1 first. It's not too bad, right? Or we could just, I think we probably just switch him over straight away. One slight problem, I guess Mad Hatter's going to be placing Hex as well, but it's probably not too much of an issue, right? Let's just have him open with this. And we'll say number 1, number 2, and don't use. Should be fine. So yeah, we're not going to get, in a sense, the full benefit of his Hex because Hatter's going to be stealing it. That being said, by having 2 Hex champions, it's probably going to make him more consistent. I think it should be fine. And he's going to be decreased defense. He's going to be doing, hopefully, a lot of damage. I mean, let's get a vibe for it. Let's go. What are we expecting out of him? I'm expecting big things. That's what I'm expecting. Let's find out if it's true. He has also a different affinity to Ninja. There's nothing I can really do about that. I just don't have a good spirit damage dealer for Hydra. At least I don't think so. There's his A1. Nothing too special, but he's ramping up. Okay, so he's swapping over. Here he goes in. His A3. Ooh, there was a big hit. That was like 400 to that. That was similar damage to a Thor. I'm waiting for his A2. That's the big hit. The A2 is the big one. He's ramping. Here he goes. Any second now. Obviously, no ally attacks from Mikage. Thor, big damage. Here he goes. The big hit. Whoa, we did 1,000,000 damage right there to that head. Holy moly. Okay. That was the big 1B. Sorry, 1M. 1,000,000. I think Thor did 1,000,000 when it's decapitated. So he should come in and just like A1 right now. How hard is A1 hitting? Wait, does he have an AoE A1? No, he hit for 1,000,000 with his A1 against a head with weaken. Let's see. Thor's hitting for very similar damage, actually. Okay. Let's see. He should do his A3. Bonk A3. Wow. Boom. Okay. Now we're talking, boys. Will he get another A2 or will Thor kill everything? Big damage from Thor. We'll see one A2 here, hopefully against this decapitated head. Will he get it in on time? He'll also hit Mischief. Here he goes. Final Testament. Okay, 900 actually wasn't that crazy strong this time around. Well, we're about to hit the 1 key. Slightly faster this time. Spicy stuff. Spicy stuff. Here he goes in. Ally attack. Bang. Thor's gonna steal the thunder a bit. So about 37 million, about the same thing. Calamitus, he's only a little bit ahead of Thor. But yeah, I mean, let's run this one out. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, again, slight disadvantage because Mikage is there, but we'd expect our mythical to be really strong. Let's go. Run. Should work the whole way through. Yeah, I will say right now, I'm expecting it probably to be a little bit lower than the ninja thing, just because I think Mikage and Hatter combine particularly well with ninja. But it should be close, I hope. 700 million. Okay. Again, we can see he is ahead of Thor. Let's compare the screenshots. Yeah, so this is exactly what I wanted to compare. So I can see here, yeah, so he's not doing as much damage, but it's good. Now, obviously, Hatter is doing less, right? So Hatter with Ninja did 123 million. With Calamitus, he's done 63. So he's done a lot less. So part of that is Calamitus himself is doing less damage. And part of that is that Calamitus himself is also putting out hexes. So Hatter's not providing all of the hex. Calamitus is, and some of that hex damage is going to Calamitus. I still think, yeah, sort of what I would have expected. A little disappointed, but not too much. So compared to Ninja, this team is specifically really designed for Ninja. Calamitus coming. How did the Thor damage compare? Actually, look at that. By putting in Calamitus, Thor's damage has gone way up, actually. The consistent decreased defense from Calamitus has really increased Thor's output. So yeah, Calamitus versus Ninja. This team designed for Ninja with the Mikage and the Mad Hatter A1s. He's not done as well, but he's still done respectable. He's done good damage. His AoEs are super powerful. And he is providing you that AoE decreased defense. And that will give your other damage dealers in the team a massive damage increase. So yeah, I think he's pretty decent. There we go. Initial testing seems quite good. Let me see. Okay, let's actually try in this team. Let me just double check that we've got gear on everyone. This would be a good test as well. And it looks like we're good to go. I've got 3 quick battles remaining. Okay, so this team, this is Thor team. I guess we can just put him in. I don't think this team actually has... No, I think we have a curse set on Chris. I mean, let's try it out. And this time we'll just replace the Thor. Give it a go. Let's see what happens. So let's see. This team with Thor, I don't know, might do 500 million or something. 500, 600 maybe, if we're lucky. Yeah, 570. Okay. So let me take a screenshot of that. This is 256 million from Thor. 200 back. Cool. 570 million. Cool. Let's come in and let's switch Thor for Calamitus. Better aura. We'll just have him swap over. And we'll have him do 1 and 2. Again, we do have the decreased defense from Venus. We could replace Venus with, like an Aestra Dream Song. That could be pretty good, especially if you don't have Podrick. Podrick's going to be providing Calamitus with increased attack. Aestrid would be good. Yeah, so again, we could switch Podrick for a different ally attacker, put in Aestrid instead of Venus, and we could switch things like so. But let's stick like this. We'll just swap into form 2 and keep him like that. And let's just steal Thor's gear. So Thor didn't have the relic, and we don't, so we can unequip this now, and it will, I guess, vanish into the ether of the test server. And Thor, yeah, cool. We'll just save Thor's preset as a global. I had to take Thor's normal necklace off as well, so we wouldn't have too much crit damage. Come over to this gear, and let's see, how does the Thor gear compare? We're gonna have to, I guess, we're gonna switch it up anyway, right? We start with the Thor gear. So let's start with the Thor gear, but we want to drop some crit rate. I think this weapon, yeah, this weapon has a lot of crit rate. Let's come in, and let's say I just want lots of attack, lots of speed, lots of crit damage, and a tiny bit of crit rate. Let's look at equipped. Hide the set. I think that's a little too low on the crit rate. A little too much crit rate. We don't want to go below 80. Going way too low. This is only slightly below it, but it's too much below. We're losing quite a lot of speed, but it's keeping him pretty comparable to Thor. Actually, this seems... lose a bit too much speed, perhaps. Maybe that would be good. Oh, is that what he's already wearing? No, this is maybe. I won't spend too long. This, 6% down. Lose some attack. Gain some speed. We'll go with this. 220 speed. Seems fine. Let's compare this to Thor. So almost the same build as Thor. Great. Let's see. How does it do? I'm expecting him in this circumstance. I'm expecting him to do more here. Let's find out. Will he actually do more damage or not? With a curse set on the Krisk, that's not as consistent as the Calamitus will bring. So I'm expecting more. It's a little bit more. 590. 590. He's done. Yeah, and the extra damage is coming from him. Let me compare the screenshot. Yeah, so again, we compare it to Thor. Krisk did 78 million. Now we've gone to 48 million. But Calamitus 290 compared to 256. Okay, and Atharion, yeah, the rest of them is fairly similar. So he's pretty similar. So yeah, okay. That's how it looks to me. So, in conclusion, is Calamitus good for Hydra now? Yes, there's no question. He's very good for Hydra. I don't think he's the best. Now, we did not fully design teams to maximally take use of him, or make use of him, which you could do, right? Be your Hex and decreased defense champion. We had other Hex champs in there. We had other decreased defense champs in there. So he's not making full use of his utility. But I think we came pretty close, and we got a good vibe. It seems like he is actually a little bit better than Thor, which is extremely good. That's really good. Definitely a little bit better than Thor. I think he's likely not as strong as Ninja or Toshiro. Obviously, Trunda is like 50 million times better than others. But that's sort of my impressions of him. And it would obviously scale very well with an actual Arethi coronet as well. That's something to note. But so do Thor and Ninja, etc. I think he's on that kind of level. Now, if we look at the leaderboards here, just to give you a sense. So right now, Thor, he's pretty similar to Iyasu, pretty similar to Quintus, to Phoenix, better than Harima. Thor's around that 740 million damage in his best sort of team. Carnage should be pretty similar as well. I'd expect him to be somewhere like that. And then I think, Varl, Ninja, Toshiro are going to be a little bit better. And then Taurus is also higher. And then we've got some Trunda. So Kaimar, Belenor, Deliana, and Trunda are all higher because of the Trunda team. So yeah, I think that, I don't think he's even on the list before this. Yeah, so poor old, poor old Calamitus, even though he is clearly in Form 2, a Hydra champion, did not even make the list before this. But he seems to be, obviously it depends on which people are actually running this and the effort they're putting in and who they're focusing on at the time. So this could change a lot. But as a rough rule of thumb, I expect him to be, he's pretty high up, right? He's going to be pretty high up, I think, in the Hydra leaderboards. And yeah, like Toshiro and Ninja are very much, I would say, locked in to a Mikage type team, whereas he is not. And he brings some nice utility. So yeah, I think Calamitus, I think he's in a good spot. He's not the best of the best of the best, but he's pretty darn good. And yeah, we can do more testing in future. I am curious to see. He could have some potential for Arena. Could be kind of fun. And he could have some potential as well for Chimera. Even in Form 1 could be kind of fun as well. So this champion, he definitely is in a much better spot than he was before. Let me know what you thought of the testing here today. Were you impressed? Disappointed? Were your expectations met for how good Calamitus is? Should he have got more? Was it just right? Let me know. Let me know. Guys, that was Calamitus in Hydra. I think he's good now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.